Anniversary. Yep, we're 20 years strong, still fighting for Kiwi families and the values that we all share, despite attempts by the state to muzzle us through deregistration. At Family First, we believe that strong marriages and families are foundational for a strong nation. For 20 years, we've been one of the leading pro-family and pro-life voices. We've played a key role in major public policy debates, including opposition to the anti-smacking law, the redefinition of marriage, the introduction of radical abortion laws, the flawed conversion therapy law, transgender ideology and radical sex education in schools, and the 2020 cannabis and euthanasia referendums. We've also become one of New Zealand's leading new media commentators. Recently, we measured 40 million plus views of Family First content across our social media platforms in just 12 months. In some stories, we've had more views than the mainstream media. But we want to reach even more people with the truth. Here's how you can help us grow even stronger. Follow, subscribe, and share our social media content. Read our research, analysis, and fact sheets, which clear away the cultural narrative and give you the confidence and assurance to stand up for truth and socially conservative values. Send us any important information and happenings affecting our Kiwi culture that we might need to share and amplify with our wider audience. Make submissions to Parliament and councils on bills which downgrade conservative family values. But most importantly, at this special point in our existence, could I be slightly forward and ask for a birthday present? A 20th anniversary present. Would you consider a special financial gift to recognise our significant milestone? And would you consider investing in our future via regular donations through automatic payments? If you feel we have spoken on your behalf and you have appreciated our common sense and credible approach to the many family and political issues in the media and public domain over the past 20 years, please join the movement. It'll be one of the best investments you could make, and we would be very grateful. Thank you for your consideration of this request. Go to familyfirst.nz/donations to invest. Help us to promote strong families, marriages, religious freedom, and the value of life based on the footprint of faith which has underpinned New Zealand for generations. We want to be a voice for your values. Family First New Zealand simply could not exist without your support and investment. Go to familyfirst.nz/donations. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Solid Ground with me, Simon O'Connor, part of the Family First team. And as you saw at the introduction, 20 years. I mean, that's quite a remarkable achievement by Bob and those who have been involved much longer than me. So yeah, 20 years as of the 1st of April. And as Bob said, and we just jump straight into it, if you are able to donate and support our work, we would love that and be grateful. But of course, if you can't, you can do two other things, which is, of course, is to subscribe and share our content. And thirdly, of course, this is a live show. Make sure you come along and support with your comments and thoughts, questions and otherwise. This is, as I say, a live show. Solid Ground is where we talk the cultural and political social, ethical issues of the day, or just interesting bits and pieces that have caught my eye. But as I keep saying, being a live show, it also means that we get a chance to take your comments and thoughts on things. And so I'm going to jump straight to that, because actually there's a lot to talk about today. Oh, actually, before I start with some of the early comments, my apologies for Tuesday. We still don't quite know what went wrong. For those of you who were watching on Tuesday, the stream, the feed, both the video and the sound started to break up. Don't know why. Been looking at all the... I can see it's... I think the same problem... I know I would have frozen for a moment there, guys. I think the same problem is still there, I can see. So where I'm sitting in my little studio, I can actually see the quality, if you will, of the feed, of what's been sent out, and I can see it's faulting. So it seems to be a problem down the line. We will see what we can do about it. But as I say, we're live. I'll see how well this goes today. But good morning to those of you coming on through. I see we've got Vlog's trucking there. Rosie, we've got Edmund. Good morning to you. Lovely to have you along. We've got Lynette. Yeah, it's a dull day here in Auckland as well. Dean, yes indeed, it is the day that's been made. To Darren, yes, very wet. Having to say, getting to my treehouse was very, very wet. And David, good morning there. I'd love to have you along. Murray's got withdrawal symptoms from not seeing Straight Talk last night. Yeah, we took the Easter break. And good morning to Sue as well. So I will do... Yeah, sorry, the stream is distracting me. I'm waiting for it to drop again. Let's see what happens. Hopefully, Bernice, the sound is back now. Again, this seems to be outside of my control, certainly, or ours, so a little bit disappointing. But to Samuel, good morning. Lovely to have you along too. So look, guys, there's quite a bit to talk about if I can keep this stream going. But happy Easter. I mean, obviously now we're Tuesday of what they call the Easter octave. Old tradition that you celebrate Easter Sunday for 8 days, sort of extend the festival. This is where I spent Easter last year in the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem, which I have to say was an amazing experience. It was really quite something to be in Jerusalem itself. But that's inside. This is the little, you see the dome with the light coming through, but below it is a little chapel. And that's where tradition has it. The tomb was, and so hence the term sepulchre. So that was incredible. You're not allowed to take photos inside. And this was at the Jaffa gate. So as you're coming into Jerusalem, into the old city, there's the big walls and gates. And this lady was just sitting there playing the harp. Quite remarkable. So a lovely Easter here in New Zealand. But also it was just neat for me to look back just a year ago, as I say, being there in Jerusalem. And happy Easter to Kat and to all of you. In something that is more personal and cool, one of our wonderful supporters, Ian, who may even be on, used AI, I suspect, to create this over the weekend, which I thought was quite cute. It makes me look very slim, so I'm even happier about that. But thank you to Ian. I'll actually share that to my socials over the next couple of days, but I thought it was quite funny and actually really quite cool. I mean, really what AI can do these days is pretty neat. Also, and good morning to Philip, I see you coming on there. Hopefully, guys, I'm just looking at the comments that the sound is all back. If it is not, let me know. This is, I think, some of the more significant news. Obviously, we've got the fuel crisis, what's happening in Iran, President Trump basically going a bit crazy, I'd have to say, with his recent comments. Not good at all, but something that I think is remarkable and positive is that after, is it 50 or so years, we're heading back to the moon. The crew of Artemis, that's the space rocket there, have actually just flown the furthest away from Earth that any human has. Thank you. Bernice is saying that she swapped from YouTube to Facebook and she now has sound, which is great. I'm wondering whether or not there's an issue with the feed to YouTube, because I can see Peter said there was no notification either. I'm wondering. Suspicious. I have to check that later. But anyway, Artemis is this amazing space rocket. And look, at one level we can be skeptical and go, well, what's it achieving? the cost and so forth. But I think one of humankind's biggest attributes is to explore and to push the boundaries and the new technologies which comes and enables us to do something as remarkable as this. So 4 astronauts, 3 Americans and 1 Canadian, at this point, as I'm talking to you, going around the dark side of the moon. They're about to lose contact, but they are the furthest that ever humans have got, which is, I think, quite remarkable. And in turn as well, they've been taking some stunning footage. This was a couple of days ago, a photo they took from Artemis. Actually, it might be Orion now, the capsule itself. I might be getting all that wrong. Artemis is the full ship, whether or not the little part they're in might have a different name. But anyway, they took this photo, which is, again, just stunning and reminiscent of that photo we saw in the 60s when the Apollo program was going. In fact, it's what they suggest kickstarted a lot of the environmental movement for when the first photo was taken of the Earth. People sort of were able to conceptualize, I said, the whole world. It's just, I think, totally and utterly amazing. So, and beautiful, and very beautiful. Jumping topics, because that's what we can do. And the stream is holding for now. Touch wood, touch wood. Big study coming out of Finland. This is in the transgender space. This is a massive study, and I hope you can read it on screen or read it enough. Long and short, I mean, Finland's a remarkable country insofar as they collect an enormous amount of health data on people, and in effect keep it over the years, so it's easy for their researchers to go back and see, what was someone's mental health 5, 10, 20, 30 years ago. So they've gone back through the records of thousands of people who identify as trans effectively or have gender dysphoria, and they've shown that actually their mental health gets worse over time. So you heard that right. The mental health of people with gender dysphoria gets worse over time, particularly when it's linked to what they would call gender-affirming care, what we would call sex-changing surgery. In other words, people with gender dysphoria, usually young people who are put onto puberty blockers, onto cross-sex hormones, and then onto mutilating surgeries, their mental health gets worse. Their psychological morbidities get worse. And that's evidenced very clearly in this Finnish study. It puts to bed one of the rumours, if you will, and I've always only thought it was really a rumour, but one of the tropes, the ideas that the gender-affirming care people want, those who want to trans the kids effectively, always say, look, we've got to give puberty blockers to children. We've got to put them on cross-sex hormones to protect their mental health. That is patently false. We knew it anecdotally. But now this Finnish study is quite definitive. It also sits alongside another Finnish study, and we've got some information on the Family First website about it. Another one that says, look, actually people with gender dysphoria, people with gender dysphoria also have a host of other psychological problems. So treat those problems like anxiety, depression, and lo and behold, according to that Finnish study, but also what we know from common sense, gender dysphoria goes away. So it is really quite remarkable. And as Ben is saying, it seems quite obvious to us sane people. Well, I think so. But this is one of the sad things, one of the saddest things in this space. Well, actually, it's 2 sad things. One is the building of lies around a lot of this gender-affirming care, or sex-rejecting surgeries, if you want to call it that as well. The second, of course, is its targeting and harm. Sorry guys, outside of my or Family First's control. I said I just pause when I see the stream freeze. These lights that I've got here tell me what isn't happening.